King in Black is Marvel's big winter mega event, spinning out of the pages of Donny Cates' exemplary Venom run. Knull, the evil god of the symbiotes, has his eyes set on Earth, and only the assembled heroes of the Marvel Universe can stop him. What'll happen next? Well, let's hop into issue number 1 and find out together, shall we? So then, as the story begins, we check on in with Eddie Brock, who is still rocking his fresh new beard from his time in the future. Yes, that happened, ain't comics fun. Eddie had become an Avenger during the events of the Cates Venom run, and he's been advising them on what to do about the Knull threat. Tonight is the night it all comes crashing down, so everyone is rightly worried. Naturally, Eddie's not worried about himself, though. He's worried about his son, Dylan. Eddie never wanted any of this evil dropped on his son's head, but now he has something to truly defend, something to fight for, and he's gonna fight harder than he ever has in his life. Now, in a nice change of pace from how these events normally play out, the Avengers and assorted heroes of Earth are actually ready for Knull's invasion. Iron Man has turned a bunch of the leftover spacecrafts from the Empire storyline into landmines. Well, space mines in this case, I guess. They all get set off in an attempt to slow down Knull's army of symbiote dragons. Well, I suppose technically they're wyverns, as they only have 2 legs and a set of wings, but you know what, now I'm getting too nerdy even for me. Sadly, this gambit only manages to buy everyone time, because before you know it, the stars are out in the sky and it's raining dragons all over New York and the world. In a nice bit of continuity, though, Eddie decides to hide his son in Ezekiel's bunker, A.K.A. the place that Silk lived for years hidden away. Dylan, being his father's son, doesn't want to hide away, he wants to fight, and given his amazing Codex powers, I'm certain he will be a deciding fate in the war to come, but as it stands right now, he's still a kid and still has to listen to his father. Now back outside, the Avengers are sadly not doing great. Their ringer Thor, the god of thunder, is nowhere to be found, and they could really use his lightning powers right now. His electricity and magic are some of the only things that can actually hurt Knull and his ilk. Luckily, our heroes do get reinforcements from the X-Men of Krakoa, despite the mutant nation kind of being isolationist the last little bit. When the world needed them, they did indeed heed the call, and Storm especially is going to be key if they hope to win. Unfortunately, Knull has one last ace up his sleeve too. You see, the symbiote god is as old as the void itself, and the very first symbiote was forged into a blade to do battle against the Celestials at the dawn of the universe, meaning Knull has managed to make thralls of some of the most powerful beings in the entire Marvel universe along the way. Meaning that when he finally shows up on Earth, he does so in deadly and destructive style, just to snuff out the last bit of hope the heroes may have been holding on to. Captain America, though, does have one last trick, a heavy hitter even amongst heavy hitters. It's the frickin' Sentry to help turn the tide. Hey, wait a minute, that's not what the Sentry looks like anymore. It's like you didn't even read that last Jeff Lemire run. Honestly, you know, it's not that important, as Bob Reynolds is really only here right now to show that once again all the old tricks for symbiotes aren't gonna work anymore. Sure, the Sentry famously ripped Carnage in half and threw him into the sun, but guess what? Knull, thanks to the power of the symbiote hive mind, saw all of that happening and now knows exactly how to counter the Sentry's killing blow. So yeah, things just went from worse to really worse, meaning that in a moment of pure desperation, Venom decides to go to the Spire, aka that special throne room from the Absolute Carnage story. He enters it in hopes that he can do battle with Knull in the actual symbiote hive mind itself, and if this seems like a bad idea, well, it ends up backfiring on poor Eddie almost instantly. Knull manages to finally get his big confrontation with Eddie. He steals the Venom suit off his body and says that once he's done here, he's gonna go gunning for Dylan, who, as I thought, was always the center of all of this. And now as the comic comes to a close, poor Eddie is careening to the earth down below with no one strong enough to challenge Knull. And so that was King in Black issue number 1, everybody, and by God, this is how you kick off a big comic book event. No one is safe, everything is at risk, and the stakes are very high. But more than anything, though, I think what makes King in Black work is all the same reason that made Cates' Venom solo series work: a strong focus on Eddie as a father, and the whole re-envisioning of the symbiote lore as some sort of Lovecraftian cosmic horror. Special credit should also be given to Ryan Stegman, who turns in some of the best art of his career, a career which I should say was already filled with some pretty amazing art, so that's saying something. This was a great first issue, and I'm excited to follow the rest of this story throughout its many tie-ins and subsequent issues. Overall, I would give King in Black #1 a 9 out of 10.
Hey there everyone, it's your old pal Cape Jewel, and if you're seeing me right now, that means you watched to the end of the video, which I am very appreciative of. It really helps drive engagement and retention and all that other good YouTube stuff. So does liking and commenting. Wink wink. If you like my content too, you should check out my Patreon page. We just redid all the tiers, so there's a ton of great rewards. You can become a patron for as little as $1 a month, and well, it would just really help me out. It's never expected, but always appreciated. So until next time everyone, I've been Cape Joel, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.